by and watches, I'll be happy. I don't expect a lot of people here today because it's too nice a day out, at least where I am, and I'm probably not gonna be on long because I've got stuff I've got to do. What time is it? Oh, I can be on for 20, 30 minutes. I can be on for a half hour. Anyway, want to talk a little bit about let's see, Twitter. So Musk basically put took all of his Tesla people, the engineers who can do code, and basically locked out the Twitter people. A lot of people are being let go too. Not just Paraj Agrawal, the CFO, and the lady who was in charge of the basically enforcement and stuff like that. She was the one nasty looking little bitch from India or wherever who decided to ban President Trump. Rumors about Trump coming back. To the people who say he'd never come back to Twitter, yeah, he will. Why? Why not? All right? You want to make people even more mad? Go for it. I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat. So that's going on. What else? And it's obviously the algorithm has been opened up. Bigger users, I mean, Cat Turd, if you're a conservative or libertarian, you know who Cat Turd is. He's added 80,000 followers since Thursday. Okay, so the algorithm has been opened up, and you're starting to see like, oh yeah, Carlos, you're starting to see words like groomers being allowed, more conservatives able to go talk back at lefties. I've been lobbying for my old account at all lowercase letters, Janisek, under like score, whatever they call it, lowercase m, and Cameron's at Cameron Pasha to be reinstated. He was chased off of Twitter for spam by Lucasfilm's SJW assholes, and I was chased off because I got so fed up with the teenager back in 2018 who was obsessed with Enfy's Nest and thinking she was a tranny, or he was. And I finally said, instead of bothering with Star Wars, why don't you just fucking make your own space opera? I got suspended for that. It's not somebody in their, you know, mid 40s getting tired of a goddamn brat. Okay, like I was. That's the truth. I was tired of the goddamn brat. So I let her have it, or it have it, or whatever it was. And oh, I sent it. I sent it right to Elon. But thanks, Jacob. So anyway, I expect them to get back and say you're reinstated. I expect Cameron definitely to be, because here's the deal. They called us bullies. What is wrong finally telling an obnoxious teenager to shut the fuck up? I wasn't bullying that kid. All right. I was trying to explain why I didn't like Soylo, a Soy War story. That's it. Okay. I got put in jail several other times because I went after Pablo because he was being an asshole to the fans. Okay. Look, if you're going to have a social media platform and not take care of bullies like that, or look, act like, well, if this person retaliates, they're the ones that get nailed, what does that tell the person who's causing all the trouble? They can do whatever the fuck they want. And for the last 6 years, 7 years, they have been able to. Now it's like, I guess we can't now, okay? So it's not the Wild West, and it won't be. But I think the platform, the playing field is now evening out. So we'll just have to wait. If I get my account back, you can bet your sweet Bippy I'm gonna make an announcement. Okay, now let's go to Kathleen Kennedy. Halloween is the day that she became president of Lucasfilm 10 years ago. There are reports everywhere that Cameron stated that there was an emergency meeting held this week. You know, obviously it's because they're about ready to, leave Kennedy behind. And I believe it, not only because I got a feeling like that from somebody else, but WDW Pro said the same thing from his sources. So this is getting far out there. Okay. So my question is, if you guys want to help out on Twitter, basically get Deadline Hollywood, Variety, and Hollywood, the Hollywood Reporter to actually talk about it. Matt Bellany knows it's happening. Okay, so why aren't the mainstream? I mean, look, here's how bad it's gotten for them. You guys know what Polygon is if you're in the chat. Put a 1 if you do in the chat. If you don't, put a 0. Polygon is a status quo shill rag. Okay. They basically came out and said the sequel trilogy has been a disaster. So now it's out there. And it's not like it's been tiptoed around by the Atlantic. Okay. Hollywood is talking about it. It's in the mainstream press. Okay. That is a big fat fucking deal. That is a BFT. That is a BFFD. Okay. And so with Bellany talking about, was it 2 or 3 weeks ago, complaining out loud, why is she still there? And then saying, well, I was a little harsh on her, blah, blah, blah. He's still saying the sequel trilogy was a disaster. They have to do something. I mean, right now, without Favreau and Filoni, Star Wars would be a hibernating franchise. That's what it would be. No one would be doing anything with it. And look, it would end up being like the Muppets. Okay, do you want that to happen? I don't. I want a world with good Star Wars in it. And with the revelation that last Wednesday, last Thursday, Cameron got that they were calling an emergency meeting, and they never do that unless something big in leadership is happening. Okay. So I'm like, why aren't the big mainstream news rags, industry rags talking about it? So if you're on Twitter, start lobbying Deadline, Hollywood, Variety, and Hollywood Reporter to start talking about it. I mean, they shut the fuck up. They shut the fuck up after all this crap with Damon Lindelof went out there, and there hasn't been. Now I'll wake up tonight at like midnight and see that Headland listed a toilet cleaner for the Acolyte or some shit like that. But they really haven't said anything about that, except, it's still going ahead. In whose imagination? Again, none of these projects have the official backing of Disney. Okay, they have not officially said anything about any of the actors in the Acolyte. Nothing at all about whatever movie Lindelof is talking about. So that stuff precipitated, I think, the meeting, especially if Kennedy was told to shut the fuck up. Now, I think Lindelof screwed her over at this time. I think when this came out, and they would, I mean, 3 articles, boom, 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 from all 3 rags, right before anybody could say anything, including one behind the scenes by the Hollywood Reporter. I'm looking at this going, what? So I think JPEG and the Disney leadership said, we need to have a conversation with the entire company. And the fact that people have heard, people I trust, have heard that a massive amount of layoffs are going on. But we have not heard a fucking word in the press. We need to start having them ask these questions out loud. So do me a favor and ask them, why aren't you talking about this? Okay. In fact, I've got some people that I'm going to ask. We know this is going on. People at Lucasfilm are talking about it. All right. So it's very interesting watching how this is going on now. It could be just Disney saying, no, we're not going to let you, we don't want this to get into the press, blah, blah, blah. It'll look bad. Look, everybody knows. And it's looked bad since 2016. Okay. It's time to just. Now, about the Ahsoka stuff and the Tales of the Jedi. Apparently, G.K. Johnston, I think, was the slag that wrote the novel. Filoni chose not to have a LGBTQXYZ, I don't give a fuck character that she wrote in the show. And there are people upset about it. It's like, it's time to shut up. And I'm going to say what I said to that teenager. If you want to have your people or people you enable in your shows, make up your own space opera. Okay, you can do it. Star Wars doesn't need it. It's fine without it. Okay. I thought it was interesting, though, that, if Filoni is so woke, why wouldn't he put that character in there? He put the Martez sisters in the Bad Batch, and everybody was pissed. Okay. Everybody was like, the fuck? Okay. So, I think that was probably people at Disney quietly saying, don't do it. Don't fucking, they don't know. We're just going to hear more then. So it's not there. And Disney's getting a little shit for it. What else? Andor episode 8. I know a lot of people liked it. But again, get rid of the lesbians. Fucking get rid of those bitches. All right? Fucking get rid of those bitches. I am sick and tired of this shit. And again, the reason why people aren't tuning into it is because woke shit like that. Okay. But I sure as hell bet that they've jumped in and started watching Tales of the Jedi. It was great. Again, Dave Filoni knows more about making Star Wars than anybody in Kennedy's crew. Might want to think about that, guys. So there's that. But is there something going on at yes, there is. Okay, there's fire now. And I haven't heard anything else, but I do know that people I'm not going to mention know that there is. No. Okay. It is Kennedy's departure is being talked about at other studios, including one she's kind of involved in. Okay. So something's happening, but we got 2 days. All right. And it's like, and hey, look, if I'm wrong and there isn't any announcement on Monday, then I'm wrong. Okay, and you know, I would say I was moving too fast, but still, it doesn't say there isn't anything going on. Okay, it is her 10-year anniversary, and people have told people on the down low that they expected her to leave after Indy 5 came out. I expect her to announce a retirement date because that would be fair to the fans. And again, she doesn't want the job. We know she doesn't want the job anymore. Realizes when she's being honest with herself that she's in over her head. Okay. And it's just ego now driving this code of silence or some bullshit like that. But she is being set aside. And somebody is being groomed for taking over. And oh yeah. And the here's the thing you ought to go and watch Entertainment Weekly. Go on the YouTube channel. Favreau and Filoni had a very long discussion about expanding the Star Wars universe. You are looking at the future of Star Wars. It is not Tony Gilroy and his brand of storytelling yet for whatever, and it's not Kennedy. It's those two. Okay, with DC taking James Gunn as a co-head of the DC Universe U Studios, I'm looking at Jon Favreau to take over Lucasfilm. I mean, that's my prediction. All right. Now, if I'm wrong about Kennedy announcing now, we have she could announce her retirement anytime. Okay. I do think that the people at Lucasfilm know. All right. I do think they know she's leaving. I do think people have been demoted. I do not think Pablo Hidalgo's job as a story lore person exists anymore at Lucasfilm. I think he's a consultant. I think they cut that. I think they just said, we're not going to use you anymore. And I'll tell you something. And the person that comes in to take over Lucasfilm, Jon Favreau, he's got his own production company. He could bring his own people in. All right. You want someone like that. Okay. Someone who's on the side of the fans. Okay. When you hear Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni talk, they're excited. Okay. I personally can't wait to see Ahsoka. All right. I really, really can't. And the reason why is because Dave Filoni was so excited talking about this series in that Entertainment Weekly video. I was like, I can't wait either. If he's excited, I'm excited. So, but I did want to talk a little bit about this. There really isn't anything else going on. One of my subscribers sent me that video and said, read between the lines. And I'm looking at it, it's like there isn't any secret squirrel language going on. All right. They're just talking about the future of Star Wars. Now, you could take that and saying they're taking over or they're part of Star Wars. But it seems to me that a lot of things are about to change. And now's the time of year, at the end of the fourth quarter, when earnings are coming in for the final reports, that executive decks get shuffled. Remember, Matt Bellany said other executives are expected to leave. All right. Anyway, I'm going to go and do some secret squirrel shopping. So I will talk to you guys later. If something happens or I hear anything more, I'll do an upload. But we just gotta wait and see what happens. If I'm wrong about her announcing it by Halloween, I'm wrong. But it doesn't mean she won't announce something. It could be any time, Jacob. I mean, I'm looking at this going, the mainstream press is keeping their goddamn mouth shut. Look, if I'm hearing this in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, from somebody across the pond who knows people at another studio who are talking about this, and Cameron's hearing stuff from his insiders, and other people are hearing stuff from inside Lucasfilm, it's all over the place. All right, it's everywhere in Hollywood. Only the mainstream press are not talking about it, so they're shut up for a reason. All right, but my advice, if you go on Twitter, ask them to start saying what's going on at Lucasfilm. All right, so we gotta go. This is Steph signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.